Hey everybody, Shay here. Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be coming soon to the channel, hopefully day one launch, and there's an entire Cyberpunk 2077 YouTube channel. Inside this channel, there is a bunch of content. So I want to go to the videos here. Now, I do recall seeing some of the videos like a long time ago. Like this thumbnail is looking familiar to me. I likely checked some of these 8 years ago. That's blowing my mind. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me start with this one. Let me just play. It's 18 seconds long. I'm gonna go through these and just yeah, experience Cyberpunk on the countdown. I think there's about, when I'm recording this or when I upload this, there's probably about 8 or 9 or 10 days left, something like that. I'm kind of like liberally spanning that out. Okay, next, this one right here, 2013, man. But check this one out. It does have copyright music playing on it, so I'm going to move on past this one. It is cool. So the creator of Cyberpunk 2077 right here. I am curious about this. I have not watched it. How long is it? 4 minutes? Sure, let's give it a go. Oh, why do you have to be in this format? Okay, well, anyways, you're going to see some stuff down here. It's okay, let's keep going. I want to see what he has to say.
It's rain-wet streets. It's nights like this with fog rolling in, cars, faceless people going by doing the things that they're doing. There's something kind of hypnotic about it. That's when I get inspired to carry what these streets are like, what the city is like, the mysteries, the stories, the thousands and thousands of people that you pass that are going by as shadows in this wet, cold, dangerous environment. I wanted to grab that. I wanted to take it into the future, and where I took it was Cyberpunk. What I loved was the fact that it was a combination of dystopian society, a lot of technology, with this really great overlayer of almost film noir. In a cyberpunk world, I realized real soon, was a world where people had the technology, but it didn't fundamentally change the fact that there was a lot of treacherous, nasty behavior.
That's what I love about
large
this genre.
Weapons, and a lot of sort of serious danger all about.
I love this since Shadowrun.
The important part inside
since Shadowrun, but Shadowrun was a big thing.
It's the feel. It's getting that dark,
and that right there,
gritty,
the feel.
rain-wet street feeling.
It's got a visual component to it that
rock and roll, lost, and desperate and dangerous quality. But Cyberpunk is about that.
Nails it. I don't know
people and technology, but not in that transhumanist way where it's all about the technology.
Obviously different from saying the look and feel.
It's about how people use things. There's a great Gibson saying, "The street finds its uses for things," and that's what Cyberpunk is about. Cyberpunk isn't about saving humanity; it's about saving yourself.
It's so
We've approached doing this video game
obviously
numerous times before.
Influences,
we have fought to find somebody who was enough of a fan of the world and the game.
I didn't know
to
that
not
though,
want
that
to
he was
directly.
I didn't know that. I mean, why wouldn't he be, right?
A label of Cyberpunk on it and then do something totally different. And so when CDPR
there's some integrity there.
What we realized really rapidly was these guys are fans. These guys know the material. They're quoting things back to me I've forgotten.
Wow.
And that's an important thing. You have to be able to understand why this world exists.
That's so cool.
We're dragging my butt all the way over to Poland several times a year. We're excited because there is a really strong element of cross-pollination. There's a really strong element of cooperative building going on. And that's really great. Cyberpunk 2020
when was this? 2013?
was about early Cyberpunk. It was a world in which people didn't know a lot about what the tropes were, the feel for it. The great part about 2077 is that it's a mature form of that. We're basically able to progress a larger arc. You're going to get to see the outcomes of things that we started to talk about in the Fourth Corporate War. And
all these books were recently available on a Humble Bundle. They might still be.
To see how those progress, see where they go to, and how they'll shape them. We're looking at the same mucky, nasty night city that you were in before, just a lot bigger and probably a lot more dangerous, and with a lot of players you don't know about yet. 2077 is about the cyberpunk you thought you knew, scaled up, bigger, badder, stranger. It's the visual component that the frozen pictures we would put in the books can't give you. It's the
such a good
sound,
speaker, man.
It's the feel, it's the movement. 77 is going to be about being there.
Yeah, that's creepy as
hell.
hell.
We've gone through a long journey, all of us. Those of you who have been fans have been waiting for us to get the right game.
I remember seeing this book
in
used gaming stores.
We were going to wait long enough to make sure.
I mean, gaming stores, but in the used bins.
Cyberpunk
regularly,
is
and always tempted me. Never got the books.
And I can't wait to play it. And I'm
Now look
hoping
at
you
this.
guys will want to play it as much as I
30
want to play it. 'Cause it's
30
gonna be
years
a
later.
hell of a ride.
Yeah. About that. 25 to 30 years later. 2020. 2027. Wow. Cool. Got ahead of myself, honestly, with even this. Like, I jumped in. I didn't even give, like, a proper introduction and what this series, micro-series, I don't know, reaction series is going to be for the every day. Hopefully, there will be an upload. I'm going to go through this entire library. Now, there's one here I remember doing. I recorded it, I don't know, a year and a half ago, 2 years. I don't know when it was. When they dropped this, let's see if I can find it. They dropped the big one, the 40-minuter, the one that was, like, the gameplay. You know the one I'm talking about. That was, like, the big drop. And I recorded it and I screwed up all the sound. It was still early, I'm going to say early enough in the channel. No. That was already years into this channel. I'm still screwing up sound stuff as I go. But that one was, it was so unfortunate because I switched something while recording the reaction video and I got to this 40-minute. Where the hell is it? Why can't I speak and pay attention to what I'm looking for at the same time? Because I keep seeing things like 5 years ago. Like, that's a long time ago, man. It wasn't that long ago. No, it was probably a year and a half ago. Let's focus. One thing at a time. Come on, man. Oh my God, it was right here? Yeah, you can see it right there. I rewatched it a while ago. 2 years ago. This all came out after I watched this. So but I didn't see this thing when 7 years ago. I don't know why I didn't watch this when I came through here, because I watched this. Oh, because I was probably doing a Google search and I was picking whatever was coming up in the actual Google search. I didn't put the pieces together. And as I watched this thing, I watched the whole thing and I did a reaction to the 48 minutes and I was so ecstatic about the gameplay. The stuff they were showing there. Maybe I'll play a little bit of it just to kind of remind myself of the stuff that I saw. So the proper introduction here is hopefully I'm going to get through this library over the next couple days. Every day I'm going to release one of these up until the launch. And then of course, bam, I'm in the game. It's pre-ordered. I'm good to go. I'm ready to go. So I'm going to click through this one though. I'm going to fast forward as I go because I have, I'm just trying to remind myself of some of the stuff that I talked about when I first, like right now, I'm doing it again where the audio is being captured way too loud, and because I'm talking over it, you're not going to hear me. So let me not do that again. Let me actually pay attention to my settings.
Cyberpunk 2077.
So August 2018, just over 2 years ago. Prototype, not final. God, okay, so there's this stuff right here, which I thought was cool. Do I have my mouse? Okay, good. Just the life choices, that was cool, and now they've kind of gone into that a little bit more, which is great. Like the life starts or whatever they call it. The fact that you can... I'm going to spend hours in character gen. That's clear to me again. Okay, it's got the stats. That's pretty... reflex is the coolness of a character. Okay. Okay, so here's... My mind started blowing watching this stuff. So, I mean, FPS, now, I'm not a huge FPS player, but...
Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person role-playing game.
Role-playing game. And immersive. I liked how things switched from this view into the story mode, or whatever you want to call it, like where everything, it kind of floated, pulled you out, and then you were... V, is it, I think, the name of the character? And then you're interacting in the scene, and then it would... flow you back into the FPS.
It looks like these scavengers are kidnapping people.
And I think there's like dynamic stuff that happens based on what you do, like the different, like the scene will actually trigger a different flow, which I think is pretty amusing. I am going to fast forward through some of this stuff. So here's the FPS part that I hope I pick up, like I can slide into pretty decently. It's not, I think I can. It's just sometimes I definitely get overwhelmed with FPS games. Because I have hyperfocus, and so it's very difficult for me to shift my attention to the things that are happening on the screen. And in an FPS, you're immersed in the shooting experience. And so if like I'm focusing on shooting this middle guy, for example, I just noticed the one dude moving on the right there, but I don't know what he's doing. And I'm not even gonna, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm not gonna pay attention to it. My whole thing is like, I'm gonna focus on one thing until that thing is taken care of, and then I'll start shifting my focus to see what else is going on and read the scene. And that's why FPS will sometimes trip me up. So I'm hoping the RPG... That's awesome. I'm hoping the RPG component will sort of like switch that up for me a little bit and have me still be able to feel like I'm not completely crippling the gameplay because of tripping up. I love the language. I love that. Hey, let's fast forward through a bit. And then the scene is over and they kind of just a reprieve, just like the break a little bit. Like this was pretty, it's pretty dark. It's pretty crazy.
Got our target.
That's Cyberpunk.
Trauma team. Something's jamming the biomon signal. Talk to me, T-Bug.
That voice actor sounds familiar. I mean, I just finished Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
If we clear it, free up the signal. Got the shard. Removing it now.
I don't know if it is.
Done.
Rebecca? No? That's crazy. So I love how integrated that is, because you're still an FPS, but it's, you know. That was, this next scene is pretty crazy too. I can't even like I'm not even coherent. Because did I read it or see a video? Or maybe talk about it here, where it talks about like you could do this scene in different ways, and based on what you do, it actually impacts. It's just dynamic, it's super dynamic. Is there like faction stuff? Like, oh, they didn't talk about it here, so maybe I got that somewhere else. Was it here?
We've delivered the target, and T-Bug has notified us that the scavengers have called in reinforcements. Let's get out of here before they arrive.
I got the eddies for new wheels now. Eyeing something real fine, too. How about you, Heina? Probably blow it all on booze in 3 days.
Talking about somebody else, Jack. Cleaner than a cunt out of combat.
Then maybe not. Okay.
Is a mature,
Then you go into these scenes like this, which I love, because what you design actually becomes part of a scene. I always love that.
with the game world. And as you just saw, it's people.
It's
And
great.
he obviously has some money to burn.
Hey, sup?
Upper dock.
Come on, Heina. Make the dock wait. Pull some pants on your culo.
So great.
Subway entry. Bring your iron.
It's so
We have
fluid.
a point around our apartment.
Look at this. When I get so lost in this city, well, and outside of it. But here, let's fast forward a little bit more. This right here, I think got addressed, right? Like,
The jacket
I
not
think
only
this is no
provides us
longer
with
a thing or
protective
something.
stats like armor, but it also increases our street
I mean, it is, but not
It's a
as
form of experience the player
robust or
acquires
something.
by
I
completing
don't know where I learned that either. Picking things up off Twitter,
unlock new vendors and
you know,
content throughout
following.
the night.
I'm good to go.
Megabuild, timeline,
Look at this.
technologizing another. As an example,
Look how
in this
the
world,
depth,
people pay with Eddie,
the depth of the
Slack
design of this
for Euros.
level, and like this is an entire city of this kind of depth. This is nuts to me. Look at this.
That is interactive. Here, a generic ad has morphed into
Like
an
what this guy
ad
says right here. Watch this.
specifically tailored to V, informing her of the nearest vendors.
Like I wonder if that matters depending on you as a player, like what you've decided, and if it knows things and then shows you. You know, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I'm obviously speculating. Probably I'm like overthinking what the possibilities are, because I keep seeing things where I go, how are you going to do this? Like scale this and sustain. You know what I mean? Like the level of original uniqueness, you know, to what a potential experience might be based on decisions you make, actions you take, who you meet, what you do, what you're. I don't know. My brain gets blown the more I think about this. So maybe I'm getting ahead of like the possibilities, you know.
Very strong signal. You kidding me? Damn signal gonked out 3 times. 3 times.
Just random conversations happening. You gotta script all this crap, man. Like this is crazy. Look at my brain. Look at all the pieces moving.
We've greatly enhanced our crowd.
All the models. You find a double model in this, please. Go ahead. Let me know where it is. I don't see it. Okay, maybe those two. Immediately a liar. Yeah, that was like a uniform or whatever. Look at this. Look at the depth. I do recall reading something like there was a vertical movement that they were working on and they had to strip that out of the game or something.
What's up, Jack?
I could be inventing things. I could just be imagining I had dreams about things. But anyways, because of how many levels of depth there are in the board, it would have actually created a lot of it would have created some complications or bugs, or did, and that's why they had to remove it or something. All these things. Atmospheric, the smoke, that's great. Layer 2, everything is, there's so much versatility. Here, let's fast forward even some more. Like you're getting a quest here, which is great because it's like it's immersed in a scene while you're getting the quest. I know I said I was going to do just a bit of this, and now I'm kind of like diving deep here. But like you meet the dude, it's in a scene. You're going to learn, like this scene talks about just the components, I think, of the cyberware and stuff that you can get and who you got to come to get it, I guess. I'm just throwing things out there, speculations, but it's the idea that you're integrated in the scene, things are happening, and they're basically going to teach you with the narrative. Like that's great integration right there. So let's fast forward past this, push the next quest, and this thing started like, and there's cars, you know, then my brain just, I'm like, and there's cars component to this where you're driving through the city. So it's like not a racing game, but you know what I'm saying. It's like GTA kind of like all of a sudden it's like there's integrated to shooting, I guess, while you're, oh my god. Anyway, so that's blowing my, look at this. And you can go into this view. I played the hell out of Gran Turismo back in the day, man. And then I wiped my save card. I had a full ass garage, and then someone saved over my file. I was like, and never again. Never playing that. I'm never getting that deep again. But I could just drive through the city, man. And so this is great, and I do think that there's a. They talk about the idea of like depending on what faction you're part of or whatever those things are called, this could go completely sideways. This could go completely different. So there's variety in the way you approach these scenes too. That matters. These characters matter later on. They matter. Let's fast forward because I remember most of this. Now beyond this, I'm starting to forget like what the last third of this is all about. I think there's like a massive ass fight. Like that's like where the big gameplay component starts going off. Yeah, it's right here. Everything goes to shit. I think there's something with this scene. I mean, he talks about it here, or I learned about it somewhere else. But all of this could go differently based on what you do. Look at this creepy ass guy. Spider eyes here.
State of the art, this thing. Don't even got no standard port. Bells and whistles, though.
It's crazy. I love drones in this, man. In Shadowrun, that was my thing.
Actuators are actually pimped with titanium fiber, and it can go anywhere. Literally. Watch this.
Oh, I'd be so tempted. I don't know, man. I might do it. If there's an option for me to pull this off with what I want, I might do this.
You could lose your lunch.
They're not classes, whatever they are. You just pick skills, I guess, and we'll learn about this. Hopefully there's videos about it, and that's what I get to learn about for the next week.
Dexter Deshawn sent me.
Dexter Deshawn.
So I think that's where like decisions you've made will have impacted how this rolled out.
We'll pay for the bot and be on our way.
I mean,
Say you had 50K.
that's crazy.
Heads on this.
That design is crazy. That face is so nasty.
Move it.
Nice. This might be a little disorienting. Like, am I in a story? Am I about to shoot? Can I shoot? Can I interrupt this? I can skip it. I can see down in the bottom corner there. And then things go to shit. But see, like, it looks like you could just start shooting. Oh, everything's in slow-mo. What the hell? Or you're hyper fast. Oh, cool. Yeah. So you became... That's awesome. And now is it a chase scene? I forget. I don't remember anything. Like August. I don't remember. Remember like yeah, big fight scene. This is where he's talking about all the things the things you've put into yourself, like how that might impact the gameplay and give you versatility in your approach to the challenge. That's gonna disorient me until I find a sort of like what's my gimmick, you know? That's how I have to play these games. I have to limit what's the gimmick and then just maximize that gameplay, the gameplay to support the gimmick. This might be a game where I don't have a preconceived notion of the kind of character I would play going into this. If you've watched my Mass Effect series on this channel, it would have been Joshua Coyote. He was a character I created for Spellpunk, I suppose, Cyberpunk. I don't know. It's kind of like fantasy Cyberpunk, but he would have translated into Shadowrun. Did I play Shadowrun game with Joshua Coyote? Maybe? I don't remember. Oh yeah, well, the video game. And then it would be the easy call for me to play Joshua Coyote in this game, but I don't know. I might do a net new character. I mean, there's melee. Like, they're featuring that whole melee opportunity there. I'm like, I could probably... Like, close combat. I could do that, too. Like, that looks nasty, and I'd love to get in their face and just see how cool I could make that. Let's see. From the video. See, that might be the build. That I mean, my leaning right now. The character I played the longest time in Shadowrun was a character called JD Blade, and it was bringing knives to a gunfight. That was literally the concept. katana vibro blades, whatever, and then just super agility. And it's like, what do I do in a, because Shadowrunners, it's all about shooting and sliver guns and crap like it. It's tough as hell. I get owned more than I could. But if I could get in close, things were getting wrecked. So that was a challenge of that gameplay. It was like, how do I pull this off? I'm going to get owned if I go in the open, but I've got the agility for it. But you just need that one spray to hit you, you know? I'd be wrecked because I had to be lightweight. This is crazy, right? This is great. So this is like a boss fight here. So I ended up watching basically the whole thing, huh? I think I got most of my reminder. It was more like environmental. I wanted to remind myself what the environments were like and how it felt like. And I mean, this first part is already longer than I anticipated. Because, well, no, I mean, there's a lot of videos. And I can talk a lot. So if you want to go down this ride here, boom, Cyberpunk is a coming.
This concludes our gameplay demo walk.
Oh, and there's like unique music and band, I guess. It's incorporated into the game or something. I think that's a freaking cool thing. I don't know if that was it right there, but I am looking forward to exploring all of it. Okay, so we're back on this page. I think I'm going to call it for this particular part, because this was basically a summary of the stuff I remember watching, again, 2 years ago, plus this Mike Pondsmith here. And then from here, we're going to, I mean, I remember this being on Twitter, this Keanu Reeves kind of cameo here being a thing. There's some unboxings here. Like, I'm not going to watch all of these because, well, I mean, they're very short. They're all very short, so there's no reason why I can't. There's these deep dive videos, maybe talking about like some of the gameplay stuff. That might be interesting. No, I'm probably going to watch all of it. I don't know about this one. 1 hour video? I don't know. If you're interested, let me know in this video, because I would need to know within a couple days as I go down this journey. I'll probably pre-record a couple more, probably soon-ish. Probably today still, because I'm kind of on the path at this point. I want to absorb as much as possible before that drop date. Know as much as I can going into the game, and this is just kind of hype. It's my self-hype, but also for the channel to know this stuff is coming. So I'll catch you there. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, buddy. Peace.